Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for GrowMyBag.tv, and there is a lot to unpack. I mean, I couldn't even cover everything during the crypto minute. So let's dig in. What's the biggest news that's out there? If you are a member of my Grow My Bag community, you would have heard us talking about Uniswap last night. Got deep into it. So we'll touch on it a little bit this morning. Uniswap got served with a Wells notice from the SEC. Uniswap, in case you don't know, is a decentralized exchange specializing in DeFi. Now, decentralized. Just let that word wash over you. And then you have all kinds of companies coming and rallying behind Uniswap. So if you look at this, this is a very strategic move. The SEC has been moving and playing chess for a little while, right? They started going after coin projects, token projects. Then they started going after exchanges. Then they started going after bigger exchanges. Now they're going after DeFi. This isn't a play against Uniswap. It's not even a play against DeFi. It's a play against crypto. And I think that's where they're going to hit major problems. Uniswap probably has a good amount of money to fight the fight. Coinbase probably has a good amount of money to fight the fight. A lot of these companies that the SEC is going after have a lot of money to fight the fight. Those are just the companies that they're directly going after. Let's start talking about the companies that are backing them up. The BlackRocks of the world, even indirectly the Vanguards of the world, Fidelities of the world. You have all these companies that handle trillions of dollars worth of assets under management. And the SEC is going after crypto in a major fashion, in a very concerted fashion. Problem with that is you have a lot of these companies that want to work with Uniswap. We're talking about DBS, JP Morgan, other banks that were involved in a pilot program that handled DeFi transactions on a global scale. And it worked out well. They worked with Uniswap, Polygon, and Avalanche. I'm just saying that this could wind up being the most pivotal fight there is, because it's not just an exchange, right? To me, it's not a standalone thing. You're not going after a decentralized exchange. You're going after crypto with this move. And there are too many people involved in crypto, too many institutions involved in crypto, too much money involved in crypto for the SEC to actually think they're going to win. Pay a fine and go away? Sure. I could see that. Save some face. Instead of going after crypto companies and telling them what they did wrong, that they did not know they were doing wrong because there were no rules and regulations to easily guide them. There was no help to guide them to keep them within the rails. Instead of doing that, how about you develop those guardrails, make them well known, work with the industry, and I'm willing to bet the industry will help you police it. But that's not the tack that our friend is taking. Gary Gensler is, there are a lot of words I could use. There are a lot of words that other people have used. We're going to stay away from those words. But his approach is absolutely incorrect. And I think it's going to wind up, it's definitely hurting the agency, right? It's definitely hurting the SEC. They're causing infighting with regard to Ethereum. They're trying to go after Ethereum as saying that it's a security when they've said, the CFTC have said already that it is a commodity. Do I believe that there are securities out there that are being traded as coins on various exchanges? Highly possible. Depending on your definition of it, yes. But have you defined it? That's the problem. Have you defined it? Have you worked with those companies to actually identify it? Have you recently issued a license to a company to do the exact same thing that you're accusing Coinbase, Kraken, no, not KuCoin. KuCoin's a different case. Coinbase, Kraken, Uniswap, and maybe even KuCoin. That might be a part of the case. Because you're accusing them of working with securities. Well, which ones are securities, and shouldn't you be going after them? They're just exchanges. They're just exchanges. And you're going to go after a decentralized exchange. That exchange will live on. People could go to jail. Probably won't. Could go to jail. But can you actually shut down Uniswap? I don't know about that. You have to recall that, a lot of this stuff was begun underground. Are you really going to get rid of it all? Are you going to control it? You couldn't control it then. What possess you to think you're going to control it now that it's a multi-trillion-dollar market that everybody and their mama wants to get into? Just wondering. Now you have the FBI. Apparently, there was some, there was a major crypto conference in 2022. Allegedly, there was about $3.6 million value at that time of Bitcoin stolen from somebody, from one of the developers, one of the major developers. The FBI has subpoenaed records of all the attendees. They're digging in and they want to know what happened. Dashjr's, Bitcoins were supposedly stolen, and they're going to try to track it down. I'm trying to recall, because I remember doing a video on this. I'm trying to recall if this is the one where he was tricked into giving away his keys or something like that. I don't know. I have to check on that one, because there was an incident where somebody was tricked into giving away their keys or some crap like that. Or was that? Maybe I'm mixing up two different things. I'll have to look back at my videos and see where it was. Then you have, I'm just sitting back and I'm just saying, BIS, okay, the Bank of International Settlements, is saying there needs to be a global level of Bitcoin oversight. I mean, not Bitcoin, of stablecoin oversight. The reason why, because they know stablecoins are here to stay. One, two, they're like, if we don't get this in control now, we're not going to be able to. And that could stymie, adoption and all that other good stuff. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying, and how does that play against CBDCs? Right? It's very interesting to watch how these things, come about. And that's one of the things I'm paying attention to, is how does that get affected by CBDCs? So I want to see, what countries actually step up to work at an international level, to create stablecoin rules. I know that Senators Loomis and Gillibrand have brought forth a bill to do that. They've been working on it for years. We'll see what happens. But I agree. Actually, there needs to be some kind of way to regulate stable coins. But how is the question? So you need to look at everything. But I do think it needs to be a concerted effort so that you know what you're getting as you look across the board, right? Because you're tying your stable coin to a fiat, and then you're going to have to ask yourself, well, what fiats are you going to trust? BRICS doesn't have a fiat, so you have the other countries that do, and so how does that work out for you? And that's going to be a big question. It's going to be a very big question. But again, I'm looking at stable coins and CBDCs and just saying, so how does CBDCs work other than Big Brother, right? Then you have Solana's MarginFi. It is it's a Solana DeFi project, and the CEO abruptly said, I'm done, and walked away. And said, yep, y'all go do whatever it is you're going to go do. There's been infighting, there's been turmoil, and that resignation comes with a $150 million decline for that platform. As an offshoot of that news, I saw a small article someplace, and they were talking about there's a lot of infighting going on within, the Solana space. Not Solana itself, but like DDoS attacks from project to project. Get 100 bots, do the minimum Solana trade, and hammer that project. Hammer that project so it can't do anything. And I'm like, wow, there's a whole process behind it. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just kind of going, okay. I mean, these two stories have nothing to do with each other. Just that they're both stemming from Solana, and that kind of spam they call spam transactions. That kind of spam can definitely hamper a project. So it's definitely hampering Solana, because Solana right now, even the developers say it sucks right now because of everything that's going on. The demand is great. The bulk of the traffic obviously is, meme traffic, and they're saying, yeah, so that demand is there from the meme traffic, but then you do have this stuff going on. And how do you stop it? They're legal. They're real transactions. They're the minimum of Solana, but they're still real transactions. I'm just like, wow, that's a lot. And they're using bots to do it. Like they're like, it only takes 100 bots to hamper somebody like that, to hamstring them like that. So that's interesting to me, because it's something that we probably have to pay attention to across many projects, right? It just so happens that it's prevalent on that particular blockchain. What else is going on? Hashkey receives an upgraded license in Hong Kong. They got the full thing. Everything's there, including retail crypto services. So that's actually a very big deal. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but license after license after license after license, Dubai, Hong Kong. Dubai and Hong Kong, or vice versa, if you look at it from the number of licenses. So that's what I'm paying attention to. I don't know if you could tell, but Stitch, I should lean this way. Stitch is over there looking at the, there he is. He's over there looking out the window. But I think my issue is, if you look all the way around, is we're going to have to start paying deeper attention to the news that's out there and see how everything correlates, see how everything's connected. The CPI numbers that we got yesterday affected the stock market. We saw an initial down from, and we can switch over to the numbers, because you know what? We should get into the numbers. And I do that for a person, for one of the guys, because he called me out on it. So now I have to do it. I can't not do it. So when you look at all of the stories that are out there, you got to link them together. And then you have to pay attention to things like CPI, economic data. We're getting more today, right? We're getting more today, PPI data, producer price index. And that's going to have further impact. I told you before, CPI is going to come in hot. I believe PPI is going to come in hot. And that's just going to make Powell go, yeah, we're probably down to 2. And frankly, I don't think they're going to be two decreases in the interest rates. I don't think he's going to drop them twice. I think we're going to come down to, it's going to be 1, and it'll be late this year. Because it's not like he's timing it for anything. I mean, yeah, you do have the presidential vote this year, but the economy is hot. So what do you say against that? He can't. He cannot lower the interest rate, because all you would get is a hotter economy. So that's what you've got to pay attention to, which means we're having a hard time fighting inflation. And don't forget, mixed in with inflation is greedflation. Just corporate greed. Some prices are inflated just so they can make more profit. That's just a fact. So it's hard enough fighting inflation. Having greedflation, mixed in there, not easy at all. So what would he look like? I'm going to lower the rates in June, or I'm going to lower the rates in July. He can't. The numbers do not back that up. So now everybody's going through their calculus. They're going through their algorithms and all that stuff. And they're saying, okay, so what if he only, cuts it twice? And I'm telling you, you should think about how he's going to cut it once. I really do think that's what's going to be, because they require a couple of months, maybe even 3 months worth of data to see if there's a trend. And right now it's just hot. So when you're looking at what's going on economically, that's when you can start looking at what's going on with stocks, options, bonds, crypto. That's when you start looking at everything. Anyway, that's what's going on right there with PPI coming out today. I think it's at 8:30. We do see a slight decline to 76 from 78 yesterday in the crypto fear and greed index. And then we dropped tremendously, precipitously, from 129 billion over the past couple of days down to 121 billion. Right. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, to be expected. To be expected. You're looking at certain things taking a hit, including Uniswap, including Magnify, including others. Like Uniswap's dropped like 17%. Their Unicoin has dropped 17%. Something we should be paying attention to. But I want you to see this. Look at my line at 69,355. At 69,355, we're still up right now at 70,556. Take that all in for a second and hold it right there for me for a second. We got hotter than expected economic data, took a dive, and bounced right back. Wow. That ought to tell you something about the resilience. That ought to tell you something about the demand. That ought to tell you something about the adoption. That's what I'm looking at. So as people continue to look at everything that's going on, that's what I'm looking at. So if you want to look across the big board, Doge is up a lot, almost 20 cents. That's a 5.59% up. Toncoin is up. I'm not touching Toncoin, period. Just not going to happen. WIF is up. Somebody, I was going to say, CRO is up a little bit. Somebody got on me because he said I deleted a comment. And it's highly possible I deleted a comment. I was deleting comments all over the place before because I was getting hit with a bunch of bots. So I could have deleted his comment, by mistake. But he was like, well, I was talking about, crypto. I was talking about, Cronos, a week ago, and a week later, here you are talking about it. I don't support this channel. Ha ha ha. And I'm like, I'm not perfect. I'm human. And sorry to see you go. Hope you come back. But I've been talking about Cronos. I started talking about Cronos in 2022. In 2022, when I first got started, is when I first started talking about Cronos. Go back to 1/13/2022. I was telling you about what Coinbase was doing because Cronos had already done something. What FTX had already done something. It was a big something. It was a very big something. But I have been talking about Cronos since before Cronos got the stadium. So if you're listening, could have been a mistake, but approach people better. It wasn't like I was trying to disrespect you. People ask me things. The community talks about things all the time. But I get hit by bots, on different platforms, especially YouTube. And I just got to go in and I got to delete things. So I can't see everything. And if I delete, sometimes if you make a comment on the wrong comment and it gets mixed in with one of those bots, because the bot comes in and makes a comment, and then they have 50 million other bots that come in and reply to that comment, all leading you over to something that's going on Telegram. So I just go up the line and delete. I actually report the comment, and then I block the user from the comment. That's usually how it goes. Sometimes I miss blocking the user and then winds up coming back and all that good stuff. But there's actual management that happens behind the channel that all of us creators have to do. And it's to try to keep that space safe. That's one of the reasons why we created GrowMyBag.tv, because that social media platform requires $1 a month. $1 a month. But you know what that $1 a month does? It helps keep the bots out. It helps keep the bots out. That's the point, right? That's the reason why I do it. Okay, so I apologize if I inadvertently deleted your comment. And I've got people that don't present their ideas in the best of ways. My mother always taught me it's not what you say, but it's how you say it, right? And I've got people that don't present their ideas in the best of ways, and I've got to take a step back and kind of go, oh, because how they said something ticked me off. But then when I let myself calm down and I look at it again, it's kind of like, well, that person has a point. Let me go look at that. So even if I'm mad, I'm still going to go research it. But I will say this, members get answers first. If you're a member of the community, either you're a member on growmybag.tv and or a member of YouTube, your questions are going to get prioritized for sure. But this person wasn't really a member, right? They weren't supporting. They didn't send me a super thanks. They didn't say, hey, I support you. They didn't buy a book. Nothing. Not even thank you for even having the channel. Nothing. Just, oh, you messed up. Sorry, I messed up. I'm human. I apologize. But looking at the big board, Doge is up. Toncoin is up. Tau is up. Dog with Hat is up. See what I said yesterday? Dog with Hat was down. It was down and there was an opportunity there. And today it's up a little bit. I'm not saying it's up a lot, but it's up a little bit, right? VeChain is up. VeChain's making moves. Pay attention. There's a lot of things going on at VeChain. Uniswap, big, deep, dark red. But notice how it's just Uniswap. It hasn't really stretched out anyplace else. It's just Uniswap. But then you have the CEOs of like Coinbase and other companies coming in and saying, no, we support Uniswap in a big fashion. Because they understand that this is not a fight against Uniswap. It's a fight against crypto. Now, what else is going on? If you look across the board, you can see we've got a couple of things that are popping up. Bitcoin's popping up a little bit. Let's see, BNB chain is popping up a little bit. Don't sleep on BNB chain. It was down much further than 598, and it's been coming back. Look at what it is year to date. It's green across the board. I've seen people put it down, say, oh, it's such a boring chain. Just look at what this chain has done. It's one of the few that's green across the board. Them, Toncoin, which is not one of my favorites, green across the board. If you're looking at growing money, sometimes it's about the numbers. Sometimes it's got to be about the numbers. It really is. I just have a thing against Telegram, so that's just me. But even still, green across the board. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, drop me a note, drop me a thanks, send me a super thanks. Join the community is what I'm really asking. Join the community, join the conversation. We've got a lot of things going on and we've got more things coming. We've got more things coming in a very short period of time. All right? If you have critiques, something that's going to help me get better, send me those. Just remember, I'm human. I'm not perfect. All right? Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.